And welcome into another episode of Sports Gambling with Moneyline Monaco. I'm your host, Alex Monaco, coming off W's and more W's. Cash it on Wednesday's podcast. Lock of the day, Warriors -5.5 with ease, baby. Warriors double result. Hits with ease. Draymond, I went 1-1 on the props with. Curry didn't get us 25. I did suggest if you were going 20 plus, that could be a W. I also mentioned to go Warriors double result solo. All things considered, we continue 2-0 against the spread in both game ones. Yesterday's best gambling show ever, coming off the Celtics and Heat game 2. We're sleeves rolled up on a Friday, May 20th, for the absolutely riveting Mavericks Warriors series. Again, if you have not subscribed, rated, or reviewed, goes a long way. Both Spotify and iTunes. And of course, follow my picks on Action Network. All right. Why not, if it isn't broke, try and fix it? I'm going back in to the well, people. Give me, with conviction, with absolute just confidence across the board, the Warriors as my lock of the day. -6.5. 112.87. 112.87 in game one. Came out the gate. Outscored them 28-18 in the first quarter. All right, Dallas came back 27-26 in the second. You're still up 9 going into halftime. Kerr, who's one of the best in the biz at halftime adjustments, and Warriors, one of the best third quarter teams in the NBA, come out, they outscore them 34-24. It's over, Jerry, and a humble 24-18 on the fourth quarter. Outscored them 3 or 4 quarters. You look at everything that happened statistically speaking. Dallas, I don't know why they forced this issue, but this is the epitome of a team that lives and dies by the three. 11 for 48 from three-point land. 11 for 48. 22.9%. Here's the scary thing. The Warriors were only 10 of 29. They didn't particularly shoot incredibly well from three-point land either. I mean, the Mavs averaged 15 threes in the playoffs, and the Warriors averaged 13.9, rounded up to 14. And we see a 112-87 shellacking. I mean, that was a 25-point victory. Curry didn't even give you more than 21. Clay didn't give you over 20. Wiggins had an excellent outing, but it was 7 guys deep. And that's the scary thing about this Warriors team, is that they find ways to win when it isn't just the stars cooking. Look at the box score. I watched the whole game. It was evident. When Poole's giving you 19 off the bench, Otto Porter's giving you 10, and all 5 starters are in double figures, you're going to have a hard time beating this Warriors team. And again, I mentioned in Wednesday's episode, this Warriors defense is peskier and better than we think. The IQ of these guys, it's the best coached team, in my opinion, outside of maybe the Heat in the entire NBA. And this Dallas team, I also alluded to, there was going to be regression from three-point land, and there certainly was. I mean, I'm looking at this. Doncic was 3 of 10. Brunson didn't hit a 3, attempted 5. Reggie went 3 for 10. Dinwiddie was all right. He was 3 for 7. He gave you 17 off the bench, but that's the scary thing. Doncic gave you about 10, 15 less than he normally does. Brunson and Reggie gave you 14 and 12. Finney Smith was humble with 5, hit 1 3, took 3. And then Dinwiddie gave you 17. They're not a deep team. This Mavericks team is not a deep team. They're throwing 6 guys at you, and they need all out massive production from all 6 guys. And that kind of is contingent on Luka going nuts. Can Luka go nuts in game 2? I don't think so. Look, game 1 was a setup. All right, you go back from game 7 teams traveling for game 1s. if you take the home team in game ones, it hits at 61%. In the world of sports betting, that is enough to just blindly fire on. But you look at what this Warriors team is, and they're electric at home. And they're going to win this series. I have absolutely no doubt. I mentioned -1.5 series games for them to cover it. This has 4-2 written all over it. It might even go 4-1. You could argue that the Grizzlies were a tougher assignment than the Mavericks. The Warriors team is supposed to be playing the Suns. We're robbed as fans. Dallas is a nice story. I don't know why everybody's on Dallas. I don't know why people think Dallas is going to win this series. It's not even close. You're going against a team in the Suns previous, and no one had a championship on the roster. Nobody. Jay Crowder with the most experience. This Warriors team, Clay, Steph, and Draymond and Kerr all have 3 rings. And Dallas is coming off game 6 and 7 against Phoenix, where they were excellent at closing games. They held Phoenix to 39% shooting. I mentioned it, combined 176 points. It's not the Suns. This Warriors team outboarded them 51-35, 8 steals, 7 blocks to 1 block. Draymond was flying all over the court. I'm with confidence going right back into it. Lock of the day. Warriors cover 6.5 points. And now I'm going to go with a degenerate special. I'm going right back to the double result. It was -130 in game 1. It's -145 in game 2. And I don't see any reason why the Warriors don't win the half and win the game. As I mentioned to you, they come out, they outscore them by 10 in the first quarter. Electric. This team comes out, they warm up hours before games. You see Steph's famous warm up. They come out cooking. Dallas, I mean, Luka was having a beer. I don't know if that was on game day on Wednesday or either way. He's way too relaxed. Way too relaxed. Look, be Michael Jordan, then smoke a cigar. I'm not saying don't have fun, but for goodness sakes, you're bringing the European mindset into the Western Conference Finals. If you're a Dallas fan and you're seeing Luka out with Boban having a brewski in what seemed like the late AM, not ideal. Not ideal. Just wait a couple more weeks, my guy. But we look at what this Warriors team did in game 1. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but just incredibly balanced, incredibly balanced. They're now 7-0 at home in the playoffs, 5-2 against the spread, and put up 112. They were averaging 117 before the 112, so just a tick under. And this is a fascinating number. It's going to scare the heck out of you. But this Warriors team, when they win game 1 of the series, 19-1 under Steve Kerr when they win game 1 of series. 19-1. The only time they lost was the 2016 NBA Finals. 19-1. All right. We're going in double result, win the half, win the game. I'm going to go Curry 3+ threes. Look, 3 threes in game 1. You've seen what he's done from 3-point land. He's hit over 3 threes in 4 straight outings. He's done it he's had at least 3 threes in 9 of 10 games. 9 of his last 10 games, he's gone for 3+ threes. Clearly 21, a little bit of a humble outing. He's not a guy that needs to get his in order to feel like he got his thirst quenched. He doesn't care. But I do see him with attempting 9 threes in game 1, definitely staying in that sort of attempts standpoint. And yes, if he takes 9 threes, he's hitting 3. So I'm going to go Curry over 3+ threes. I'm going to go Klay Thompson 15+ points. He's gone 15+ in 9 of his last 10 games. Only time he went under, 8 of his last 10. Only time he went under was twice in the Memphis series. He had a 14 and 12 piece. But game 6, Klay 30 points. Game 1, Klay 15. He was 7 of 13 shooting, very efficient. was asked to cover some defensive assignments that clearly came to fruition gorgeously. And I love Clay hitting 15 plus points. So with the Warriors to win the half, win the game. And again, let's remember, this Warriors team, more points in the first quarter and the first half on the Costco sample size of the season, is going to do this again. Will there be that big of a discrepancy in the three-point shooting and the overall field goal shooting in game 1 to game 2? I'm not sure. I just think this Dallas team is overwhelmed. I mean, you watched it with your eyes. Do the eye test. This is not the Boston and the Heat series that is tit for tat, player for player when everyone's healthy. This is a Warriors team that is locked and loaded, and they need one guy to be Michael Jordan, and he's having a beer in the middle of the day. Give me the Warriors double result. Curry 3+ threes, Clay 15+, lowers the -145, closer to even money, degenerate special, and I'm just going to stay in the well and revel in it. Warriors wire to wire, +144. Win the quarter, be up at half, be up after the third, and win the game. No spread involved in this prop bet. Under more wagers, when you click bottom right on FanDuel, I love this. They came out, outshot the Mavericks by 10 points in the first quarter. I don't see any reason why they don't come out and have more of the same. They clearly had a better game plan. They clearly had more of their energy and their efforts going into things that mattered in the first quarter. Ball movement, closing out on three-point shots for Dallas. Did you see Dallas try to get off to a hot start from three? And it was hard to watch. And that's one thing that drove me nuts when I was back in the Suns in the last series. They weren't closing out three-pointers. They were too smart in game 1, the Warriors, to allow everyone putting eyes on Luka, crashing Luka when he goes inside the paint, and therefore him who can make all the passes to his credit, finding guys in the corner and in their spots. It looked like Dallas had very few open threes. If they aren't hitting the three-point shot in this series, it isn't even going to be close. So I'm going to go Warriors to win the quarter and win all the way through. And in the first quarter, they've been dominant outside of the Memphis series. So, and Memphis is the best first quarter team in the NBA. So for me, I'll take comfortably the Warriors -6.5. I'm going to go Warriors double result, Curry 3+ threes, Clay 15+ points to lower that -145. And that's for just them to win the half, win the game. And then I'm going to go Warriors wire to wire, win the first quarter, stay and maintain a lead all the way through. And I don't see any reason why we don't cash this. I really don't. And that's how we whistle while we work headed into the weekend. Great work this week, ladies and gentlemen. Hitting against the spreads to begin the series for both teams is phenomenal. All right, home court proving to be worth it, proving that the regular season game in, game out efforts were worth it. Dallas shouldn't even be in this series. It should be Suns Warriors. I'm telling you, it's going to be a routing. I said exactly on Wednesday's podcast. Go back. Warriors are going to win game 1 and game 2. Dallas probably wins game 3, maybe. Warriors should take game 4. They come back. They wrap it up. Put it in a bow. We all relax and Larry David Lamb till the NBA Finals. We watch the best of 7. That very well may be the Celtics and the Heat. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review. All things Moneyline Monaco goes a long way on social media. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Moneyline Monaco and Alex Monaco. Thank you so much for tuning in. All posts and picks on the Action Network. Don't forget, as always, to hug your mothers. We'll see you next week. Ta-ta real smooth.